Right, so drone attacks in California. This let me see if I can find it here. This was what I saw. I saw this story like in the afternoon just while I was leaving work. I'm in California, by the way. So this story really hits home with me. I was like, oh man. San Diego is so nice. It's such a lovely place, except for the drones. It's probably one of them outside my window right now. Yeah, so apparently the FBI has warned police departments in California that Iran wants to retaliate for American attacks by launching offensive drones against the West Coast. According to an alert by ABC News, they got a fun little picture here of the palm trees. I saw a statement. Actually, the law enforcement agencies are taking this seriously. I saw this was, I think, the LA PD today. Says in light, this is LA County Sheriff, says in light of current global events, let me see if it's better to read it here. The department remains at an elevated level of readiness and is maintaining increased vigilance as we continue to protect our residents of Los Angeles County. We are working closely with our federal and local law enforcement partners to share intelligence and monitor the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, assess any potential impacts on our communities. Safety remains the highest. Out of an abundance of caution and in recognition of current religious observances, the department has continued increased patrols around places of worship, cultural institutions. Okay, so they did that. So, and then they end with, we also recognize that some of the most valuable intelligence comes from the public. Our residents are the eyes and ears of our communities. So basically, they got no plan, is what it sounds like. They're like, hey, if anyone sees a drone or suspects there may be a drone attack, I don't know how credible this really is. I mean, I assume they're talking about Iran using the Shahed drones, which I don't know if I have a picture of it here. I could probably find one on Twitter real quick. Shahed drone. Let's try to pull it up. This is the type of drone that this is a good video actually. This guy shows you what they are. I don't know how he did this. He must have used AI or something.
This is the Lucas ATT&CK drone. It stands for Low Cost Unmanned Combat.
That's actually our drone that we made, and it's built based off of a Shahid Iranian drone that we found on the battlefield and reverse engineered it. So you're going to show the Iranian drone in a sec.
Attack system. It's about 10 feet long, about 8-foot wingspan. It's powered by a propeller, so it doesn't give off a big heat signature that can be tracked easily. Carries about 40 pounds of explosives. And interestingly, this was modeled after, cloned from, an Iranian drone, the Shahed 136 Kamikaze drone. The Shahed is a real favorite with the Iranians, and when one was captured by U.S. forces, they took it to engineers and said, make us a copy of this, and even better. Now, when the Iranians are launching their drones to attack outward, the U.S. is turning a very similar device back upon them and turning this.
So these aren't, when they talk about Iranian drones, they're not talking about like the drones that you guys see and I see that people have in the streets filming stuff that fly vertically. They're talking about basically a small little fighter jet looking thing. That's pretty big. I believe they're tipped with a warhead, so they're meant to just crash into stuff and blow up, I believe. So we'll do a little bit of grok research because I want to see actually how likely it is that these friggin' drones could come to the U.S. even. Can a Shahed drone reach California from Iran? How feasible is it? Because I have my doubts, frankly. I mean, that sounds like, I assume they're bringing them on boats, but how would they even get the boats past our eyes and ears to get close enough to launch drones? Oh God, I really stumped grok on this one. It's going to be thinking for a sec. But that's my thought, is just initially I'm like, okay, they're talking about the Shahed, I imagine. I don't believe they have that kind of a distance that they can fly. I would assume Iran would probably try to bring like boats somewhat offshore and launch them from there, but I would imagine that the U.S. is on alert for it and would just blow up those boats. So here's what grok says. Grok says that the Shahed is an Iranian-made kamikaze drone, often in swarm attacks, has a maximum operational range of around 1,000 to 1,500 miles, it says. So that can't be across the Pacific Ocean, yeah? These drones are low cost. The straight line distance from Iran to Central California is approximately 7,000 miles, 7,500 miles about, with Los Angeles around 7,800 miles. This far exceeds the drone's range by a factor of 5 to 12 times, even at the upper estimates. If there's any military people in the comments, tell me why I'm wrong or right about this. Directly launching a Shahed drone from Iran to reach California is not possible due to fuel and aerodynamic limitations. It would run out of power long before arriving. Feasibility is extremely low without major modifications. Okay, so point 2, they say staging from intermediate locations via ships, submarines, or allied territories. I don't believe Canada is allied with Iran. It's possible with the way their free speech laws are going, but okay. Upgraded variants and real-world conflicts. Regional attacks is all they've been used effectively for. So I imagine they're saying a boat. Unless this bulletin is talking about Iranian sleeper cells in the United States using like homemade drones, which is anybody could do that at any time, and that is just a terrifying future that we live in, unfortunately. So it wasn't clear to me from the headlines so far if they were talking about the military drones or sleeper cell drones or what's going on. Let's see. California drone. Somebody says, Lynn says, we don't know what they have. They said they're not going to miss Trump. Many have. Many have. He's got that little God shield around him right now, hopefully. I'll knock on wood on that, but yeah, I don't know. I imagine that would be first on their list, obviously. Yeah, there's not really a ton of information on this. Top U.S. drone expert. Iran has the tech. They all of the reports just say Iran has the tech, the reach. This appears to be an AI image of their military-grade drone. So, Matt Tardio says California facing threats of drone attacks from either the sleeper cells I could buy. Because, I mean, honestly, anyone, even an American who's not an Iranian, could attack with a drone. I don't even know how we combat that future. We're entering a weird period in history where, like, the technology is just getting easier and easier for people to cause greater and greater damage for less and less money, you know, and with less and less detection. So other than creating, like, a state where people are just constantly under observance. I don't know how you stop stuff like that. Okay, so generally, so we got that going on. I might get shot in San Diego. That's cool.